The way a human being functions is, you have your mind, you have your heart, and you have your spirit. We actually have organs that can sense information that can communicate with the information in our minds, in our hearts, and in our spirits. And if you have to test this, you will notice that the organ or the area of your body that can sense the spirit is just below the lungs in your stomach area. Because in the Bible it also says, in your deepest inner belly will flow rivers of living water. So that organ or that area of your body is where you can sense the spirit. So a lot of times when Christian people say that they can hear the voice of God or that God told them something, it's actually when they sense something in their spirit, and then naturally you translate. Over time you learn to translate that sense into words, ideas, communication, to the point where you can clearly hear God speaking to you. And you might think, okay, this sounds so out there, so crazy, or so like magical, like does this force like exist? But the truth is, if you think about it, or maybe you haven't observed this yet, but try it and see that even our minds work the same way. Like when it's trying to access information, you can actually feel the information before your mind actually accesses it. Like sometimes you'll say something on the tip of your tongue, oh, I know what that is, because you have a sense, and you actually analyze that sense, and you realize that it is a feeling that you can get off that information. And so it's quite interesting when you actually realize that you can feel information. So in the same way how you can feel information and then eventually locate and access that information from your mind, you can do the same thing with your spirit. And you can do the same thing with your heart. Yeah, and then obviously the mind, it's called, you would know that as cognitive intelligence. The heart will be emotional intelligence. And the organ that not a lot of people mention, but can be tested because it is identifiable and consistent. So you will see that's the spirit, that's the area where you get your gut instinct. Exactly, so we can feel in our minds, in our hearts, and in our spirit. And we can access information regarding those areas of our human functions or knowledge. Yeah. So it's quite interesting. Okay.